the opposition will use that again.
Yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, let's move on to our final topic for today. The battle line appears to have been drawn for the September governorship election in Edo State. The participating political parties have picked their flag bearers for the election. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, elected 2 factional candidates to fly its ticket for the poll, as 2 candidates emerged in parallel governorship primaries that took place in Benin City. The 2 candidates are Philip Shaibu, the incumbent deputy governor of the state, and AsueIghodalo. For the All Progressives Congress APC, Monday Okpebholo, representing Edo Central in the Senate, emerged as the party's candidate for the September 21 governorship election. Gentlemen, let's discuss this before we go on to our guests. What's this confusion?
You see, this Edo election, I can't wait for the governorship election. It will set a record in terms of anti-party activity. Because I've never seen a primary election like this one. I've never seen. If you say APC, yes, APC was full of drama on the first day. You know, the iceberg breaker was the fact that the venue or the primaries that produced the candidate of the AsueIghodalo faction was the one actually minuted to INEC to supervise. But Governor Okpebholo and his deputy, Otu, the governor of Cross River, actually went to supervise a different one. So then collation began at the other end. They sent talks. Talks went disrupted, a collation. By the time the dust settled, the party realized that the one that was disrupted was the one that we actually minuted to INEC to supervise. And it's a conditional precedent that INEC must supervise your primaries. That's what makes the primary legal. INEC must supervise. So after that, they had no choice. They had to order a rerun. I was saying it here that the end had not come, that the court could actually even order a rerun. I didn't know that it was the leadership of the party that would actually order a rerun. And one of the decisions taken was that Okpebholo should step down as the big time returning officer. You know, they always like to appoint a governor, you know. So they told him to step down and his deputy took over. And one thing led to another. Oshomole's desire to bring a candidate from the south of Edo State failed. And the AsueIghodalo group produced the candidate of the party. Now, what will happen? Will Oshomole still stand by his party, having been disgraced in the way that we have seen? But it should serve as a lesson to politicians that, look, when the majority are rooting for something, don't go against what everybody is saying. They want power to go to Edo Central. Because since 1999, Edo Central had not produced a governor. But Oshomole still, after the South, spent 8 years. You still want another person from the South to come and be governor again. At the end, he couldn't convince members of his party. APC got that. They got that right, in my view. But what do we say about PDP? PDP now has they have 2 candidates now. because the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, whom we will be speaking with shortly,
is actually on standby. Yes, sir.
The Deputy Governor emerged from a parallel primaries. The governor's preferred choice also emerged. Then Labour Party, they also have 2 candidates now. So that's why I said this next election will be full of anti-party activities.
All right, Adio, we'll take your submission after speaking with the Deputy Governor. Joining us from Benin for more discussion on this issue is the Deputy Governor of Edo State and factional PDP candidate, Philip Shaibu. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm not factional, I'm the candidate.
All right, we'll see to that.
I know that as a politician, and a seasoned one for that matter, you must be monitoring what's going on in all the parties.
Yes.
As a former APC member, what happened during the primaries of the APC, did it come to you as a surprise, or it was something that you expected?
You mean that of APC or PDP?
APC. Let's start with APC now.
The former party.
No. I think for that of APC, they have displayed that they have a central leadership, a leader that can call everybody to order. And the leader was able to call everybody to order and declare the result inconclusive, as against allowing the players to go to court, just like we are already doing our own end. So when you have a central figure, it's easy to manage affairs. So what APC is doing is not surprising to me because they have a central figure.
Now, what steps are you taking now to validate yourself as the candidate of the party? Because you're up against a very strong opposition. Your governor doesn't want to see your face. He doesn't want to shake your hands. Now, his candidate has emerged. What are you going to do to ensure that the party eventually picks you ahead of the choice of the governor's camp?
The party, if the party wants to win election in those states, as it is today, it must listen to the voice of the people, and it must follow its own rules. And the rules of the party is clear. And even when the courts and when the law says the party is supreme and the party decide who its candidate is, it's not as easy as that. The party decide who its candidate is by following the rules, its own rules. So far, it's not in conflict with the electoral law. So the party still does not have absolute control over who becomes the candidate if they don't follow their rules. And what I'm only saying that the party should follow its rules. And if the party follow its rules, I am the candidate. But if the party does not follow its rules, I won't be surprised that people will not have a candidate. But if they follow their rules, PDP will have a candidate, and that candidate will be Philip Shaibu. Because I'm playing by the rules. The group of persons that are the most important person in the primaries of governorship or any primaries that has to do with indirect are the delegates. And the delegates also have its own rules on how they emerge. And if these delegates emerge, nobody can change them and nobody can vote on their behalf. They have to vote by themselves. And that is why I'm confident, because the delegates that voted me, 381 of the delegates that participated in our primaries, of which 301 voted for me, are the authentic delegates. So what happened on the other side, if you check it, it's more like a party. You can see the level of AsueIghodalo, all the 18 local governments where AsueIghodalo to primaries. So that would tell you it was just a celebration. It was a birthday party or something that they did there. Not primaries. Primaries are not conducted that way. Primaries that have 10 aspirants you must see contestation. You must see serious contestation. And nobody will have time to show AsueIghodalo in the primaries that you have 10 aspirants. And you can see that celebration, that party that took place there, and to the primaries that we have, you will see the organic support that I got from my own end, and you see the cosmetic primaries that took place on the other end. So, as far as I'm concerned, the party had to do the right thing. The party must follow its rules. If they do follow its rules, I'm confident. I don't need to go to court if the party adopts its rules. But if they don't, the court will interpret.
So, Your Excellency, some analysts argued that you should have appealed at the party level or seek legal means rather than a parallel primary. So I'm asking, why didn't your faction of the party take that option?
Yeah, when the ad hoc delegate election took place, we approached the appeal panel, and the appeal panel agreed with us that there was problem with the primaries, and they recommended, in their own wisdom, that the party and the leadership of the party should seek for political solution, which they never did. They went ahead to have the local government Congress. We went again to the same appeal of the local government Congress. The appeal agreed with us again that something was wrong and advised the party again. The party never listened until the delegate themselves and we had to go to court to tell them that the delegate list that the party is about to produce, because we have our informant, that it's Governor Obaseki's delegate list that did not emerge at the primaries. And the court asked that the 381 that were missing in the list that they produced should be the delegate and be pasted on the wall of the National Secretariat, which was done. And they refused to allow those people to participate. They disenfranchised them, they refused to accredit them on the day of the primaries. And that was the day set aside for the primaries. And these delegates said they are not going anywhere, they must vote. And that was what led to the parallel primaries. So primaries is determined by the delegates, who are the people. So where the authentic delegates, where the primary that the authentic delegate, known by law, where that is where the primaries really took place. Not I don't know whether it's birthday party or whatever party that they did at the tennis court.
Yeah, from what people say about you, especially people who know you from your student days, that you are a very determined fighter who always fight to the end when you believe in a particular cause, the tradition of nouns.
Yes.
But as things are now,
no surrender.
Yeah, as things are now, there is an uphill task ahead of you. Is there the prospect of you being open to dialogue if these obstacles are not taken away from your pathway? Are you open to dialogue with other political parties, especially your former home, where you came from before you joined the PDP? Is there the process of a dialogue? And then the other one, the issue of the governorship election going to Edo Central. Don't you think it's the big issue in the coming election? And how do you see it?
Yeah, you see, it's just a leadership problem. If leaders come together to say, look, based on XYZ, let us agree and zone positions. And you must get the buy-in of your followers. And you must even bring the topic. You must even bring the discussion. You must discuss. But when you have leadership that will not discuss, instead, intimidate and harass by relocating your office from its constitutional place to a non-constitutional place, by stopping your subvention for the past 8 months just because you want to contest the election, by locating you out of government chapel, and arresting catechists of our church, and throwing away altars and sacramentals in the name of politics, just because somebody said it's contested election, then you cannot get the buy-in of such people into your own project. But when, it's just like the question you asked me, you see, there was a primaries of APC, and the president or the leader, with what I read on there, the president called everybody and said, look, based on X, Y, Z I've seen, go back and do your primaries. When you don't have people like that can call everybody and say, this is the direction, this is what I want to do, instead intimidate and harass you and sack, suspend, transfer. You don't. This is democracy. This is not military era. And some of us that fought against the military for this democracy will not accept that in a democracy setting. Not even with the threat of an impeachment. I will not. But when you are civil, in line with the tenets of democracy, when you discuss, when you bring issues, when ideas cross-multiply, superior will have his way. Somebody like me will bow to superior argument. Because I'm from a background where we argue, we debate, we bring ideas together. The superior ones, when they have their way, even if I am in the minority view, I succumb to superiority argument, I follow. That is the background I'm coming from. I'm not from a background that intimidates and harass, and that is why I was nominated to be the coordinator during the military of mass movement. Mass movement, I was the coordinator in North Central because my university was the University of Jos. Not a mass movement is movements against second slavery. I coordinated that in North Central during the Abacha must go era. So if I hate oppression and I get agitated and I get carbohydrate when somebody intimidates others, not even intimidating me, you can get me to agree to you by talking to me, by making me see reasons, through conversation, through argument, through superior ideas. And when I see that you have superior ideas, I bow to superior ideas. But I don't bow to intimidation or harassment. And what we have in Edo today is intimidation and harassment. They go after your business, they sack you, they transfer you. You don't do that in democracy.
All right.
And that is not the democracy that I fought for. And that is the problem of the PDP in Edo State right now.
All right, Your Excellency, I mean, you've thanked the party and you've called for unity. But in proper perspective, how can this be achieved before the election in September?
It can be achieved if the governor stop intimidating and harassing people. As I speak to you now, they are planning impeachment. So how does that solve the problem? Assuming they even succeed in impeaching Philip Shaibu, does it stop me from, if it makes me more popular and stronger, and I'm waiting for them to do it, I'm ready, because it will make me more popular and stronger. And I'm going to take advantage of it to support whoever if I don't get the PDP ticket. So you don't harass, you coerce, you lobby. Politics, democracy is about lobby and canvassing. You don't intimidate, harass. Because I have emerged as a candidate of the party in a parallel thing, you're already saying we're impeaching. You don't do that. It's democracy. I have the right to my ambition. I have the right to whatever I want to do. So you don't do that. And the problem we have, that is just the problem. For me, I am not desperate, but I am fighting for my rights and the rights of our people. And that is why people that know me from my background knows that I hate oppression. And that is why, like I told you, I was in movement that fought against oppression and intimidation. And we wanted democracy because we don't want harassment. We don't want people to intimidate us. We want to be part of a system where we will say, this is what we want, and the system must do it. And if you don't do it, we use our voters' card to take you out.
All right.
That's the kind of system we want. So, yeah.
Right. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us.
So for me,
right.
I am a peaceful person.
All right. We've been speaking with the Deputy Governor of Edo State and factional PDP candidate, Philip Shaibu. He says it's not a factional. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. I mean, you heard him saying he will support whoever he wants to support if he doesn't get the tickets.
I think he said something very important. That's a very important take home, that the APC has a strong leadership, that can intervene,
that has been there,
in local dispute, which I think puts the APC in a greater advantage, unlike the PDP, where the center seems not to be holding. The former two presidents, President Obasanjo, President Jonathan, you can't really pin them to any.
Obasanjo said it does not belong to.
I mean,
PDP.
So I think that's one thing on puts the APC, in spite of all its internal dispute, at a greater advantage.
Right.
Compared with.
Thank you. The final take before we go out of time.
The governorship contest in Edo State is it looks potentially tantalizing. So I just can't wait. I want to see what pans out, in the final analysis.
And I'm sure there'll be more drama in the coming days.
Yeah. Yes,
especially Labour Party.
It makes no sense to impeach the deputy governor. You people have just a few months to go. Governor Baseki needs to be spoken to.
Yeah.
He's just conducting himself like a sergeant major.
All right, gentlemen, let's go home. Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Adewale Adeye. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It's been an interesting conversation today. And thank you to everyone who called in. Thank you. That's all on Journalist Hangout today. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of the program at 5 p.m. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.